was at the helm and the team was in transition, and how they ended up becoming a great team overseas as well, was only purely because of the fact that all the players in the team wanted to achieve the same goal. And when you have that sort of belief and trust with each other, then I don't think you need to worry about where the team is heading. And I think the most important factor when you go to conditions which are not your own is belief. You need to have the ability to look at things in a very different way from anyone else, purely because either they can't look at it the same way or they choose not to. There are only two things that can happen. So as a team, we kept looking at things from the other perspective. As Dada mentioned, winning the toss and batting first, there was opposition from all over. But the team believed that this is the best decision for us. We backed it. And as in cricket, with techniques and everything, there's no one way of doing something. There's always your way. And if you believe in your way, you can make things happen with your particular way as well. So look, it's been a start. It's been a turnaround after 2 test matches. But the mindset was only one: we need to win. We want to win. At any cost, we want to win. And that belief, even after 2 tough test matches, that belief is what got us back when no one believed in us. The group, the management, we all believed in ourselves, and we were able to turn things around. We didn't worry about who's got how many runs or who's been hit for how many runs, or how we've lost in 4 days or whatnot. We were only focused about one thing: we are good enough and we can win, and that's all that you require.
Sourav, I celebrate you a lot in the book. You've read the chapters, and I have to take you back to the times of adversity. When you are down, there are other elements also conspiring. Talk us through that, the belief that he's talking about. I mean, the reason you are celebrated is because of that. I mean, to be able to come back, to be able to do what you did, you with the bat, and something that Virat also has done. Kamper, 2075, that innings when India is getting bundled out. Can you give me an insight into the Sourav Ganguly of 2005-06, October to next November, the toughest period, according to me, in your cricketing career?
It's never easy to be left out. And it's never easy to be left out in spite of scoring runs. So that was difficult because at the end of the day, when you're a cricketer, you're in any sports, when you can control what you do with your skills. But when the selection becomes a bit beyond skills, then it becomes difficult. So you had to just wait. You had to just wait and deal with it and wait for your opportunity. So that's what when he said, come to South Africa. Yes, I did get a phone call from a very dear friend. He said, you're coming back after 6-7 months. The South African attack was brilliant that time. And he said, is it the right place to go? I said, if you have to play for a long period of time, it is you have to score in tough conditions. That's when a captain will have the belief that when the going gets tough, and I was not captain, I had just finished captaincy, that when the going gets tough, X, Y, Z is your man to stand up. You look at his transformation. England in 2013, he struggled. Australia a year back or 6 months back, 400s in 4 test matches. I've not seen any Indian batsman play so well in Australia. We've all got hundreds in Australia. Sachin has, Rahul has, VVS has, I have, but what he did in those 4 test matches was something I've not seen it for a long time. And even when I meet Sachin, I tell him the same thing. I said what I saw in the tour of Australia with Virat Kohli, and that actually transformed him. There are times in life, and every sportsman goes through, because when you are in such a platform, such a focused profession, I've been through 6-7 years, he's going through it. You will get people judging you. In every move he does, he bats first, he bowls second, he drops a catch, he picks someone. When I see it, I said, no, it's the same repeat of the story. But what is right is do what you believe. Do what you think is right for the team. The best thing someone told me when I first became captain is that the moment you start leading your team for the media, for the critics, for the broadcasters and for the newsmakers, you are in trouble. You have to lead your team, and you go back that night to your hotel and sleep and go to bed and say, I was given a responsibility because the world believes I am good, because the selectors believe I am good, and I'll do it to the best of my ability. Nobody will be right. Nobody in this world is right. But I'll make sure that every day I finish a cricket match and I get on the bus back to the hotel, I'll speak to myself and say, whatever I've done, it's for the best of the team. And more often than not, with the ability he has, I'm sure he's going to get results.
124 for 1 South Africa in that third test. And yes, I mean, the wicket was wet, and I had a chat with Ravi about what it was. And at any point in time, you thought, I mean, 124 for 1, Hashim almost sort of creating a tent out there and batting like what the way he was. What was the mindset? Because the coaching unit tells me you went to tea, and the captain actually said, and I'm quoting Ravi Shastri here, he said, Virat Kohli came back for tea and said, we are winning this game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was difficult because we thought the wicket's gonna play very differently, and it's gonna be difficult from early on. But when again, one must not lose perspective of what is right and what is wrong. I felt that we went through that test match doing all the right things, and our intention was right throughout. We were not dishonest to the game. We were not scared at any stage. We were brave. We played the game the right way. We were moving ahead at all times, and I knew that we were the team who wanted to be out there more than the other team, and this game cannot do injustice to us. The result has to go our way because we have been honest in what we have done, and I knew that the guys also believed that we get one wicket and they're going to crumble, and that's exactly what happened. We just had to stay patient and not lose our focus, and credit to everyone. Even the bowlers felt like we can do the job. That's the only feedback that kept coming from them throughout, and the belief was very evident. I mean, anyone who took the ball, they just wanted to make things happen for the team. But one thing in the back of my head was always there, that if we have been honest to the game in this particular game, the result will come our way. It cannot go the other way.
Okay, now let me just sort of lighten this mood up a little bit. When you go to Lord's this year and Indian cricket fans go, if there is a luncheon break and a drinks break, people will go to that Lord's museum and they will not ask about Virat Kohli. They will still ask, where did Sourav Ganguly open his shirt? They will.
Yeah,
now, one second.
I can give it to you in writing if he wins the World Cup.
I've said that, I'll come to that. To that. I know your statement, and I'll ask you that question, Virat. Question to you first, then I'll come to Sourav. When Sourav opened his shirt at the Lord's balcony, you may be 13, 12, I don't know. What was your first thought? He didn't have six packs like you have.
Well, I clearly remember that night. The game started off brilliantly. I think the opening partnership was around 100. And Dada and Virubhai were going great guns, and we felt like, oh, this is our game, because those totals back in the day were very difficult to get, especially in England, against England in a final. And I thought, this is our game, this is going great. And then we were 150 for 5, and I slept off because I could not watch, I could not take the sadness, and I just went to sleep. And then my brother came after an hour and woke me up. He's like, we're winning. I thought, it's a dream. I said, what's going on? I mean, what are you talking about? He said, we're winning, come out. So we started watching late in the night, and when I saw that moment happen, it was, I think it's very difficult for people to understand, but those things are so organic and they're so pure that you just go through with it. You're not worried about judgments. You're not worried about what people are going to say about you. As he said, you cannot be a robot operating for the sake of, what people are going to write or say about you. You have to be honest towards the game, and you have to be yourself. I mean, if you're not expressive and if you're not yourself, then as he said, you'll sleep with regrets, and that's something that no one wants to do. So I'm sure that moment was very organic. He didn't care about, whether he's in the Lord's balcony. He could have been anywhere in the world, but that was just pure happiness coming through, that against the odds, the team has achieved something, and this is the way I want to express myself. And I never think that there's anything wrong with that, because that is just pure human emotion coming out.
Okay, now is Sourav Ganguly's moment.
The best thing was at Lord's, whatever I did, rightly or wrongly, there was Lakshman standing next to me and Harbhajan Singh standing behind me. So as I was taking the shirt off, Lakshman was pulling it down. He was pulling it down, and then Harbhajan was standing next to me and he's asking me, what should I do? I said, you take it off too.
Now. Sourav keeps telling me, every time I ask Sourav this, he said, your question has a shelf life. And I'm like, why? He says, let Virat Kohli win the 2019 World Cup. You talk about Lords, he will take his shirt off on Oxford Street. Over to you now.
I can guarantee you now, if he wins that final in Lords in 2019, I'll be there, you'll be there.
Yes.
And we better get our cameras ready because, as he said, he's got the six packs. I was not heavy in 2002 as well. And I won't be surprised if he's on that Oxford Street with the trophy and his shirt off.
All of these camera people will be there on Oxford Street watching you.
I don't think it'll only be me because there are a lot of people with six packs in the team, so they'll all be roaming around shirtless in the stadium.
And I can tell you who will be following him, Hardik Pandya.
For sure, 120%.
And
doubt.
I will have a new chapter in 11 Gods and a Billion Indians.
Bumrah's there as well. He's in the game big time. So we have few candidates.
He's just got to be careful with Ravi and Bharat Arun. Or he's got to make sure by the time 1 year finishes, they're slim and fit.
Fabulous. Sourav, one to you before I go to Virat. You know, when you're transforming a team as leader, and he was speaking to me just a while back, and he said, the batsman goes out of the window, and he's only talking, yes, I get 150, but that's for the team. I get 100, that's for the team. That 144, innings defining, series defining 144. He's 153 in South Africa, series defining. Can you talk about some of those moments as leader? Something that I celebrate in the book.
You know, that's a balance every captain has to do, because a lot of times when you're captain and when you're as passionate as he is and you want the team to win, a lot of time you're playing looking at the scoreboard, which situation my team is, you know, batting at 60 for 2, 63 for 4 or 100 for 5, and you know that at times that scoreboard takes over. So it's very important when you're captain and you're leading a side very, very passionately, you have to put that fine line as captain and a batsman, which he's done exceptionally well. Look at his record as a captain. My record as a batsman, as captain, was not as good as his was. So you have to get that thing going. And being the best player in the team, you know that your performance is very, very important for the team success. If you remember, before going to South Africa, I told you that India will play well if Virat Kohli scores runs. And you saw the one-day series, 300s in 6 one-day games, and it completely transformed the series for India. So from that point of view, that's the biggest challenge for him for over a long period of time. Captaincy will only get harder. It doesn't get easy because when you start, you know, you get that space, young captain, he's good, and obviously the quality of player he is, it's only going to get tougher. Away, he did well in South Africa in the one days, but I'm sure he knows that his testimony or he will be remembered when he starts winning test matches away. And for the same for all of us, and he will do it. You know, come England, come Australia with the bowling attack he's got, he gets 350 runs on the board. And I'm looking forward to them giving green pitches. You know, India get 350 because India will get. The bowling will pick 20 wickets in a test match. So I think that's very, very important. And for him, for the next 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and I'm looking at a shorter period for the 1 year till the World Cup, will be to separate his captaincy from his batting. Because if he bats well, India will win. That's very, very important.
Few questions before I go into the unveil. Virat has to leave in 15 minutes. Virat, what he just spoke about, I mean, you know, in that 150 that you got in the one-day game, clearly when we were seeing you on telly, you were struggling with your fitness. I mean, cramps, but to be able to push the body, I mean, despite you struggling, physically you were pushing yourself for the country. Can you talk us through those moments, how the mind works, that you are actually pushing the body to its limits of endurance?
Well, it's, you know, I'll give you a small example. It's basically what your mind engages in the best. You have to focus your attention towards that. Say we need to warm up before a practice session or a game. If you're running laps around the ground, you know, the motivation drops after a certain stage. But if you play a game of football, doesn't matter how tired you are, you're still running after a football. There's a motive to it. There's a goal attached to what you're doing. So in those moments, as the other rightly mentioned, you know, it's at the back of your head, the thing is always running for the team. You know, the thought is only after or only about what the team wants you to do at that particular time. My focus in that particular game was, you know, although Bhuvi played outstandingly well, I mean, that partnership was crucial. But the only aim was, the only thing we kept talking about was, it doesn't matter how we do it, we need to get past 300. And I knew that, you know, I had to bat through for us to get a good chance of doing that because I was batting with Bhuvi and there was not much batting left after. So I don't know, as I said earlier, I don't know if that comes naturally or what it is, but at all times my focus automatically shifts to what the team wants at that particular stage. And the thing is that I like to take responsibility, and I think responsibility starts from the top. And I like to take responsibility for the team, set the tone right, make an impactful contribution in the game so that the team can benefit from it. That's the only thing I'm thinking about at all times, and that allows you to push your body beyond limits that you can otherwise push. And you'll I surprise myself every time that happens. I feel like I have cramps, I can't hold the bat, but the focus goes on team winning 300 and the pain goes away. So it's all in the mind. If you can control that, then nothing is impossible, I think.
My favorite Sourav Ganguly story, some of you have heard that. I will ask Virat his favorite story as well. And then each other, and we'll close this conversation in 3-4 minutes and get into the unveil. Michael Clarke is the one who's quoted in the book. I don't know which page I can tell you that. And Michael tells me Sourav Ganguly is out for the toss with Ricky Ponting. Ricky Ponting comes back to the dressing room, has his hands on his head, and is sitting down quietly. And Michael and the entire Australian team says, "What's happened?" And Ricky is like, "I don't know what happened." So he says, "What do you mean?" He said, Sourav flicked the coin and he said, "Head tail." So he said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, he actually said head tail. He picked up the coin, gave it back to me and said, 'We are batting,' and he walked off." So I said, "Michael, I mean, come on, exaggeration accepted." He said, "Take me to Saurav's house. I will say exactly what I told you." I took him to Saurav's house, serious gourmet lunch. Michael asks this exact thing and says, "Dada, did you say that?" And all Sourav did was laugh. Answer, yes, no, I don't know. Your dressing room, anything like that keeps happening? I mean, do you guys all... he's later told me...
No, I'll correct the phrase. Firstly, Australians have a problem in understanding at times. What exactly was said was, as he flicked it up, I said head, you tail. So he must have thought as head and tail. Even I hear this monkey gate issue, and I keep hearing it in Australia. I cannot say a word to anyone. I was just having a word with Sanjeev at the backstage before we came, and he said, "Sourav, you should do this, you should do that." I said, "Sanjeev, half the things I can't say because, you're still meeting them all the time. You're still friends with them, and they'll say, what makes you say all this?" And to a Sardarji, Andrew Simons speaks about monkey. So you have to know what exactly was Harbhajan saying. Virat is from northern part of India, so he knows what exactly I'm trying to say, and that's exactly what Harbhajan Singh said. And that's what exactly I told to Ricky Ponting, that head, you tell. He didn't realize because he was under enormous pressure or whatever, I don't know. And that's what happened, and I don't know what he went and said into the dressing room.
Okay, my favorite Virat Kohli story. And this is courtesy Sachin Tendulkar, retirement day, and this tells you about the man. And then he can tell his story and we'll get into the unveil. Sachin says he was sitting in the Wankhede dressing room on his cricket coffin, and the career has ended, 24 long years over. And he says, Virat comes up to me, and he had these threads on his arm. All of us wear it, like the dhagas. And he comes and he says, my father had given these to me and said, if I see someone or if I respect someone that much, I should give them to somebody. And you are the person, and quote, Sachin says, he touched my feet and I was choked. I said, what are you doing? Tujhe yahan aana hai, yahan nahi. He embraced him and he said to me then, if someone can do this, Indian cricket is in safe hands, ladies and gentlemen. Indian cricket is in safe hands. What makes, I mean, this story is one of respect, one of humility, one of modesty. Can you take me through that mindset? I mean, what happened?
See, I don't have too many people who are very close to me, and that is just the way life has gone for so many years. Because naturally, when someone has been or stuck by me in tough times, I value that person, a lot. And I continue to do that. And the impact that he has had in my life as a cricketer growing up, I understand the importance of it. So it's very difficult to explain it. But if someone can give you inspiration like that, and you have something to work towards in your life, and you end up becoming someone, and you feel like you have done something in life, I don't think there's a greater pleasure than that. So that was just, a gesture of thank you to the guy who's inspired me to do what I am doing today. And it just came naturally. So, for me, the human connect is paramount. Incentives, gains, losses, these things don't matter to me. If someone's been honest with me, if someone's sticking by me, and they are doing the right thing, I respect them to the hilt, and that's what matters to me.
Absolutely. I mean, the first chapter of my book was unveiled at Victoria Memorial as part of a literary festival. Sourav Ganguly was supposed to go to the Bangalore IPL auction, and the previous night he wrote to me at 12 at midnight saying, I'm not going, I'll be there for your book launch function. These things for your lifetime make a big difference to me. So I remain indebted. Virat has practiced to be able to do this for the amount of time. On that note, can I please have some more people up on stage who've made a very big difference to me and the book, so that we can now get on with the formal unveil. So please, can I first have the books on stage? Avantika, Neha, can I please have the books on stage? And I want Sanjeev Goenka, quoted in the book at length, someone whose office serves me the best coffee, and we've discussed IPL and Indian cricket at length. So please, Mr. Goenka, can I have you on stage? Atul, please, can I have you on stage? ITC Hotels, partners. Raghav, dear friend, more than a brother, can I have you on stage? Rahul, please, can I have you on stage? Venki, for the longest time, dear friend, can I have you on stage? Rajneesh, can I have you on stage, please? And if I could have the books, we will do the formal unveil. এক মিনিট, আপনারা যত খুশি তুলে নেবেন, আগে বইটা নিতে দিন, আপনারা বারণ করলে তারপরে আমি নামাবো। So don't jump the gun, don't scream, let আপনারা ছবি তুলে নিলে everybody else will see it, okay? So please take your time and take it. Yeah, please. Sourav, খুলে দাও এটা। তোমারটা খোলো। Yeah, please, yeah. এই দুটোতে রিবন দেয়া আছে যাতে বেশি সময় না লাগে। Yeah, let's open it together, please. So that's the formal unveiling of 11 gods and a billion Indians. Okay, the countdown has started. 20 seconds. তার মধ্যে ছবিটা তুলবেন প্লিজ। তারপরে I'll close this. 20 seconds. 1. Sir, একদম পারফেক্ট হবে না। Perfect history cannot be written. Okay, got it? Okay, now the second photograph. It's very rare that a book comes out in multiple languages at the same time. This one is one such. Can I please have the publisher of my Bengali book, Deeptangshu Mondol, on stage? We are doing this 11 gods and a billion Indians across languages in India. The Bengali version comes out in 10 days in Kolkata. The Hindi version comes out in Delhi. The Telugu version comes out as well. Please, that's the cover of the Bengali book, which is coming out in 10 days' time. Raghav, samne aao. Apnara tinjon khule din. Please. Open it. Please. এক মিনিট খুলতে দিন শান্তি রাখুন, আমরা সময় দেবো। ডোন্ট ওয়ারি। ওকে, দিস ইজ, ইউ ক্যান রিড ইট। কি হবে দাদা?
কি হলো?
It's ঈশ্বর একাদশ ও শতকোটি ভারতীয়, literally translated 11 gods and a billion Indians. It's done. Thank you very much for that. You have something?
On this grand occasion where we're celebrating cricket in a big time, our chefs at Febel have created a grand celebration cake. So may I take a permission to bring it up? Sure.
একটু খাও there খাও that's nice
Congratulations. बस मेरा हो गया कोटा आज.
done so Virat says uska kota ho gaya aaj ka so that's the end of the formal part of the function. Ladies and gentlemen, once again he has to go. Once again, Indian cricket team is in safe hands. Indian cricket team, come the Australia tour, come the England tour, come World Cup of 2019. We could not have had a better person to lead this country. Put your hands together for the captain of India, Virat Kohli, and someone, as I said, I can call him middle of the night. I can ask for anything under the sun. He will always help me. One of the people I celebrate big time in this book, Sourav Ganguly. Put your hands together for both of them. Ebar jodi apnara please ekটু সরে যান. Last 2 minutes. Once the photographers move away, I will close the function with my guests. Ebar jodi kindly সরে যান. Please. Let's get the audience back into the program. ছবি হয়ে গেছে. Please. Let's settle down. We'll have closing comments from my guests and it's over. Please. Done. Side এ যান please. হয়ে গেছে please. Thank you. Virat, wish you all the very, very best for the IPL. All the very, very best as captain of India going forward. Final 30 seconds of comments. Is Virat Kohli in the zone where he is actually a monk in a civil world?
Well, thank you. Thank you for your wishes. Again, it was a pleasure being here and launching this book, which I think is going to be a very special book. I'm on my way. I think I'm on the right path, and I'm very happy with life. I enjoy life every day, and it's a blessing from God, so I can't complain.
Sourav, does this team have it in it to win World Cup 2019?
Yeah, of course. They played the Champions Trophy final last year. So, let's not get too far ahead. Wish them all the best. They've got some wonderful talent and hopefully they will be there.
So you reiterate that Oxford Street point one more time for my audience.
Yeah, we want them to win and whichever way they celebrate, it'll be up to them.
You can sign mine. On that note, I think we've had a wonderful, wonderful function. There are several people to thank: ITC Hotels, Fanatic Sports, of course my publishers, but most importantly, people on stage: Sanjeev Goenka, Rajneesh Chopra, Atul Bhalla, Raghav Gupta, Rahul Srivastav, but very, very importantly, Virat Kohli, and of course, Sourav Ganguly. These people made the function what it is. They are the 11 gods we celebrate. Thank you for being a wonderful audience. I know this is chaotic. I know this is mad, but that's what Indian cricket is what it is. Thank you very, very much.